An important factor, because this is what we always find. Once you sign a term sheet where you're giving exclusivity to one buyer, the balance of power shifts.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, they're competing to be the buyer.
That's right.
But once they sign exclusivity, you can't go and talk to anybody else during that exclusivity period.
That's right.
Legally.
That's
and
right.
so from our standpoint, it's always really important that we get as much negotiated into the term sheet. And a lot of times, a lot of that stuff will get pushed out until you get into the legal docs, which you go from a 5 or 6 page term sheet to a 40 or 50 page purchase agreement.
Right.
But getting some of those details into that term sheet can be pretty critical. If you can and talk about some of the specific things in your situation that we put into that term sheet that want to be important.
Mm-hmm. So we were able to come to terms on a price that we were satisfied with.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that's huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there were the items around the escrow amounts, holdbacks, caps on future liabilities. Are the right way to say that?
Yeah. Because ultimately, that's one of the things we do, and I don't think a lot of people really understand, is we're divvying up the risk.
Right.
Because when you sell a business, as you know, going through it now, you don't just walk away, put money in the bank, and say, thanks a lot. You have to, represent what it is you're selling them.
That's right.
And if they don't get what you said they were getting, then they can come back and say, hey, wait, this wasn't what we thought it was. There was more liabilities here than you said, or there was,
That's right.
facilities weren't in the condition that you said they were in. And so you can have post transaction liability.
Mm-hmm.
So those things like how much they hold back in escrow, which is what they can draw, what they typically go to first to get money,
mm-hmm.
Could have a significant impact. And ultimately, the total amount that they can come back to you after the sale gets negotiated. So it can be as important as the purchase price.
That's exactly right. And I think what was crucial in that process was you being able to educate us as the sellers to understand that as quickly as you did and as early in the process as you did.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been easy for you to just let that slide and
mm-hmm.
get us into an LOI and let the process continue. But that would have had serious repercussions later on.
Yeah, definitely. I think the other thing in your case, which we always deal with this as well, is working capital.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that nailed down, because that was a meaningful number.
Right, exactly.
To the transaction in your particular case.
Yeah.
So having that,
key.
And that was
defining that up front and setting all the parameters, not most of the parameters, was key to getting this deal done.